got the lowdown from Kristin Tate.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't have any confirmation, but, even the migrants who are getting flown to Sacramento on these private planes, they have no idea who's paid for their tickets to get there. But there's wide speculation that this is being coordinated from Ron DeSantis in Florida. And this would not be the first time he's done something like this. As you know, we talked a few months back about how he sent a bunch of migrants up to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. This is why Ron DeSantis is gaining such a following and such a great, strong fan base here in the United States, because he's all about action. Trump, he's a lot about talking and bombastic jargon, but what a lot of conservatives, were left with after his presidency was yearning for more action and follow through on that talk. Whereas Ron DeSantis, he's kind of the opposite. He doesn't say a whole lot unless he's actually done it. So I would not put it past Ron DeSantis to do this, to send a message about illegal immigration and to kind of show the voters that he's someone who's willing to take drastic action and hold these people who live in these so-called sanctuary cities and blue states to their word. Hey, if you say you're a sanctuary state, you're a sanctuary city, here you go. Here are the migrants. Why are you complaining?
We'll come back to the presidential race in a moment, but I think you've kind of answered my question there in a way. I was wondering why California, because California has its own problems with the Mexican border, of course, in Southern California. But previously sending them up to Martha's Vineyard, the rich playground of the Democrat elite in the Northeast, that made sense. But why Sacramento? Is it because the Californian capital has declared itself a sanctuary city?
Yes, and in fact, the entire state of California is a sanctuary state. There's also kind of this feud going on between Gavin Newsom, who's the governor of California, and Ron DeSantis, who's, of course, the governor of Florida. And we see how the Florida model stacks up against the California model. California is in absolute shambles. The economy is suffering. Americans are fleeing that state, as are jobs and companies, while Florida is just booming. So, this could be Ron DeSantis kind of taking a jab at Gavin Newsom. But of course, it's also to send a message about illegal immigration and holding these sanctuary state people to their word.
Exactly. You want to be a sanctuary state? Here's some people. Now, let's get to the presidential contest. Of course, Mike Pence, the former Veep to Donald Trump, has declared, we haven't heard from him yet, but he's going to run. The critical question here, Kristin, is whether this further splits the non-Trump vote and therefore makes it easier for Trump to win the nomination, or whether Pence and his critique of Donald Trump, especially for not accepting the election result, whether that'll help diminish the former president.
This is only good news for Trump. The more people who jump into this race who are not Ron DeSantis, the better for him. It splits the non-Trump vote. But, I don't suspect this will have a particularly large impact in the race. There really is no constituency for Mike Pence. I'm pretty plugged in the right of center world here in the United States, and I don't know anybody who's just, so excited about a Mike Pence presidency and candidacy. He really doesn't have those rabid supporters the way Donald Trump does and the way Ron DeSantis is getting. So I don't suspect that this will be a particularly successful bid. All it will kind of do is maybe take a few points away from Ron DeSantis by splitting up that non-Trump vote.